I want to end with Iben, because she is working on a project right now on her book, and this is actually the inspiration for this 3-part series on Christianophobia. We have such a great panel, so I hope that I can keep as many of you as possible for the other 2. But this is a sustained conversation talking about things that matter, and Christianophobia definitely matters, because I think we all agree that it does exist. So Iben is working passionately on a project that I'd like for her to kind of end us on. Describe it, Iben, and tell us why this work matters.
Yeah, I should try to make it short, but here in Europe, we have huge debate on immigration and integration of Muslims, and so far it has failed, and Islam is the fastest growing religion in Europe. And a lot of people, including Christians, have been very focused on that there should be some kind of political solution, and some political leaders should fix the whole thing. And there are a lot of conservative movements, right-wing movements, but I see that they're all failing, because the main problem is they can only tell what they are against. They cannot say what they're for, and that's because we have lost our own faith, the Christian faith in Europe. So that's why Islam is filling in a void, so to say, a spiritual vacuum. The only reason why that Islam is gaining ground in Europe and also in the United States is because that the Christian faith is so weakened. So the problem lies within our own circles. Here in Europe, people love to blame Islam and point out how a terrible religion it is. And there are many bad things you can say about Islam, but I think the reason why it is expanding is because we have lost our faith, and we haven't understood that this is not a political struggle, it's a spiritual battle. It is a battle for which God should rule in Europe. Because we think in secular terms, but I think it's only going to last maybe another decade or 2. Then we would see that Islam would take over if it doesn't get more challenged by Christianity or Christians. Because right now, Islam has absolutely no what do you call it? It's not challenged by any other belief system in Europe. The church is completely passive. They're just doing some kind of meaningless dialogue. They don't even care to try to convert the Muslims into Christianity, or at least to try to tell them about Christianity. Because actually, I think a lot of Muslims would convert if they knew what it was all about, because Muslims are also looking for a loving and forgiving God, because many Muslims are very, very fearful of Allah, because you never know whether he accepts you or not. He's very ambiguous in many ways. So basically my book is a wake-up call to Christian communities that the only people in the West who can solve this problem are the Christians, not the politicians, because this is a spiritual battle. So we need more prayer, we need more faith. And we know from the Bible that a small group, for instance, in Nineveh, when Jonah went to Nineveh, it was a small group of people that saved the whole city from destruction. And I think I would like to talk especially to parish councils and people who goes to church, people on the pews, because I think they need to be empowered and understand that the responsibility is theirs, because the politicians, they have not understood that this is a spiritual battle. It's not only political, it's about faith. And the reason why that Islam is able to expand so much is because they have a belief in something metaphysical, something supernatural. They have a higher belief, and we lost that, and that's why we are at loss. So basically, I want to make people pay attention to the fact that all these negative rhetorics we have had for almost 2 decades has not changed anything. It has changed nothing. Because people here in Europe, they think, whenever we tell people the truth about Islam, how terrible a religion it is, then things will start to change. But it has not. And that's because we need Christianity to sort of, counteract, and Christians have not understood that. They're completely passive. So my book is a wake-up call.
Do you have a working title, Iben?
Not yet. Yeah, I know this is, I'm really thinking about, because it should be something short and edgy. So if viewers have an idea, they're welcome to write to me.